What's up and welcome back. I'm John Stark from MyFilmMovieGuy.com, your favorite blind film critic. And I'm wrapping up the old Kung Fu Panda films with Kung Fu Panda 3. Because that means Kung Fu Panda 4 is coming next. And it might actually have audio description, because none of these films have audio description. I actually reviewed already 1 and 2. Both of them I own physical copies of. 2 shows that it has it on physical media. Not my physical media, but that's okay because there are different versions, and I think I have a Blu-ray of it, and it does say DVD, so maybe it is literally on the DVD. I have director's commentary, so that's something. For 3, I don't know. I didn't really like it that much the first time around, so it wasn't like a priority for me. But it was on Peacock, which I was like, the Universal streaming service, home of DreamWorks. This is obviously gonna have audio description. I can feel it in my bones. My bones, they don't feel anything anymore. It's really sad that we can't even get studios to put the audio description that they pay for on their own streaming services. Like, we can't, like, the basic beginning thing, like, this is like learning the letters of the alphabet. And it's like, okay, so you paid for it. What are you gonna do with it? You're gonna put it on the movie. Yes, good little boy, good little Universal. You're so good. Yeah, it's like really beginning block stuff here. You know, like, we can't even talk about traveling audio description when the company won't put it on their own service. So, yes. So, Kung Fu Panda 3 I watched without audio description again. Luckily, I've seen this movie before, so I was not lost. It's, this is the film where Po ends up finding out he's a panda and not a duck. It's a ridiculous premise. Some of the jokes land, some of them don't, but obviously they want to go show us like the world of pandas. He's found by his father, voiced by Richard Jenkins, who it's been a long time since Poe's father has seen him, and there's like this history with his mother. It's one of those things where you could read into it and be like, oh, this guy's gonna be the bad dude. I can feel it from the beginning. Like, other people would have set this up, and you know, I mean, we've seen plenty of films where the hero's father has turned out to be like an unsavory person. Even if you have to turn them back around, Aladdin would be a great example of that. In Aladdin and the King of Thieves, you know, his dad he's maybe not like a bad dude, but he's on the other side of Aladdin, and Aladdin has to work to try to get him back around. And that's sort of the plot of the film. No, this dude's fine. He really is actually, he just lost his son and just happens to show up. And he's like, I lost my son. And Poe's like, I lost my father. I'm so sorry. And he's like, I'm sorry for you. And like, it's kind of a ridiculous scene that he just kind of pops up. But Poe has been granted the ability to train as part of his like final stage dragon warrior thing, is that he is now supposed to train the five, I think the Furious Five. Wasn't that a movie? Fast Five, it's a movie. Yeah, anyway, so he's really bad at it, and he then learns that we have J.K. Simmons is coming back as does he call himself a spirit warrior? I don't know. He's been sucking out the chi out of other warriors, and it makes him stronger. And he's going around, and when he sucks the chi out of somebody, it turns them into a jade warrior that just kind of like mindlessly follows him around. So it's a great way to just sort of nerf all the characters you don't want to have to deal with and write plots for in Kung Fu Panda 3, which happens sort of like instinctively to most of the Furious. Like, this is probably why they're not in Kung Fu Panda 4, is when you see how quickly they're sort of, like, turned into Jade Warriors and then, like, also underused in general. You realize that they're like, well, Tigress is Angelina Jolie. We've also got David Cross. There's a giant ocean between Angelina Jolie and David Cross, so we're not going to do much with David. Jade him up. Let's put some jade on the others. Poor guys. So Poe and his duck father go with his panda father, so that Poe can learn how to be a panda, so he can master his chi and defeat this spirit warrior, J.K. Simmons, who's going to attack him. I'm assuming with drumsticks. I've seen Whiplash, so I know what I know what J.K. Simmons can do. Probably gonna slap Poe in the face a couple times. Oh, where's the beat? Where's the beat, Poe? Where's the beat? Oh, so you do understand rhythm. I didn't hate this much, actually, the second time around that I've seen this. I don't know, maybe I just wasn't in the right headspace for this. It's fine. This is really no different than Kung Fu Panda 2. There's a difference between 1 and then 2 and 3. There is. I still argue that. I think the first one has more fun, but 3 actually, it's just they're very light on plot after that. Like there's just like, whoop, we got a villain. Got a villain out of nowhere. So Poe's got to have something to do. So, and then also the dad sort of like wandering in and just being like, it's like Poe's pretty grown up at this point, and the dad Panda just kind of like wanders in like, what's up? It's really convenient. It sort of reminds me like we're sort of in the midst of Sweet Tooth, and it seems like every time they need to get to a location, they get there. Like, there's no amount of travel. There's no... We just are not wasting time. It's almost like if you manifest it, it comes true. They're like, we need to... Wow, it'd be great if we could get a plane. Oh, we're at the place with the plane. Wow, that was handy. Is this somebody's power? Like, is this somebody's power set? I wish we could stay at that potato hotel. Oh, look, we're at the potato hotel. Like, they're just wandering around then on maps, roads, anything, but they seem to magically find wherever it is they need to go. And it kind of feels like that when Poe's dad just shows up. He's just like, hey. And you're like, oh, God. They had no idea how to do this. None whatsoever. Yeah, Richard Jenkins does a good job of being a sympathetic dad. J.K. Simmons sounds like a villain, which is why he plays a lot of them. He plays a lot of angry people. I don't know. So it kind of works. I'm sure there's some sort of like appropriation thing going on here with adding more and more white American males to a Kung Fu Manda. That's the Amanda Bynes version of the franchise. Kung Fu Manda. That's where she comes in. Yeah, this is all right. This is not as bad as I remembered it, and that was without audio description. Of course, the whole thing was without audio description, but it just didn't annoy me as much. It's just a bunch of pandas like fighting, and it's kind of silly and it's kind of stupid, but it's not the end of the world. Like, this is not like a travesty. We've not darkened the franchise forever. I don't know what 4 is going to do. I know a lot of people were disappointed, like, oh, the Furious 5 are not in this. And like, after watching like the last 2 films, that's probably a good thing, because they really don't know what to do with them. After the 3rd film, most of the Furious and Master Shifu are Jade Warriors. Like, Tigress is like the only one that has any time any like part of the plotter gets to do anything cool. So it's very sort of like, yeah, they don't know what to do with them anyway. So continuing to write sort of like useless plots for these top voice talent. It's like, if you don't know what to do with them, fine, and send them off on a mission and be like, well, they still exist in this universe, but not in this film. So I don't mind that, actually. We'll see how it works out, how they actually handle it in 4, but theoretically, I don't mind it. What I do mind, though, is that this is on Peacock and it doesn't have audio description. The hell. So, sadly, my grade is going to be unwatchable because it's a kung fu movie with a lot of action sequences. While there is a lot of humor and stuff in the dialogue, this movie would be unwatchable your first time through it because there'd be a lot of scenes where you'd just be hearing sort of like music and the score. You'd have no idea what was going on. There's a lot of stuff. Even in this, I really, even the second time through, I was like, I don't remember this movie well enough to know exactly what's happening in the scene. I mean, like, I followed the plot because I had already been there once before. And this was just like jogging my memory. But there were still gaps where I was like, does he fly through the air? Does he kick? What's happening here? Is it even him? Like, who's in the shot? Like, I don't know. So even I was left a little confused, and this wasn't even my first time through the film. So, yeah. Audio description is paramount. I mean, not limited to Paramount Pictures, but it can be on the cock too, and they probably should have put it there. So, if I'm trying to like remember, if somebody runs up on me on the street and asks me, "Well, you saw Kung Fu Panda 3, right? Give me what's your grade? What's your grade on it?" And I'll be like, now I'd be like, I don't know, B minus. Like, it's maybe like slightly below Kung Fu Panda 2 for me, but not really. Like, just like marginally. And I gave Kung Fu Panda 2 a B, so I would give this one maybe like a B minus. It is kind of weird how they, like, it's very lazy how they introduce post-act. It feels very much like this was the best you had. So, yeah. And I feel like kind of like J.K. Simmons' villain is even more underdeveloped, if that's even humanly possible, than the second one. So, there you go. That's it. Those are my thoughts. Anyway, thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. And I will see you guys on the other side with Kung Fu Panda 4, which will be a first-time watch for me. It's on Peacock. So check it out.